Okay, folks, Andrew Bopros here. Well, interesting signing, depth piece signing. We have Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh effects still cooking. Signing more veteran players. We signed Bud Dupree, edge rusher. Let me just say one thing. I get a little frustrated when it's always like they call it outside linebacker. Just say one thing. Just say edge rusher. Just say edge. A lot easier. I don't know why everyone has to complicate that conversation, but I'll say this: it's a great depth piece. I'm going to talk more about it. I'm going to talk about how he fits in our system. Recap Bud Dupree, what he means for the Chargers. A lot to discuss. Andrew Bopros, let's.
Bull Bros.
Okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bopros. Can't say enough about these guys right here. Still actively going out and trying to get more depth for this team. And again, we have to deal with this, right? Because bottom line, we're spending $50 million of money that actually has not, still going to the salary cap. Currently, JC Jackson, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Eric Kendricks, Sebastian Joseph Day, Dustin Hopkins, Trey McKitty. $51 million of dead money still going out the door right now as we speak. So again, these guys walked into a situation where they had to, they're $50 million in the hole, and they're still making it work, but they're adding depth. And this piece with Bud Dupree is really great. So very excited about that. And again, you cannot say enough about Ortiz. Again, we were $30 million over the cap going into the season. Now we have about $30 million. Bud Dupree was about, I think it was a 2-year, $10 million, can make up to $10 million contract. So we're getting close to being pretty close. After we sign our rookies, we're going to have a little bit of money left over, but it's going to be pretty tight moving forward. Look, I'm going to talk more about why Bud Dupree matters. I'm going to talk about the edge rushing room and why I do truly believe this is a great signing for the Chargers. So let's talk a little bit about the man of the hour, Bud Dupree. And I will say this, when I heard that he might come to the Chargers, I was pretty hyped because, one, first of all, he's got a dope name, Bud Dupree. What a cool name. I mean, I love him to death. But again, he's 31 years old. He had a good year last year with the Falcons. He only notched 6.5 sacks and 39 tackles with 8 tackles for loss and 8 quarterback hits with the Falcons. So, not a stellar year, but at the end of the day, he did very well. Given the opportunities he had. And again, the Falcons don't have the best defense. They run a pretty light box defense as well, too. So, again, he really was the top edge rusher for the Falcons last year. Again, a lot of things happening with him moving forward. But at 31, you start getting a little concerned with age, especially the edge rushing position. Talk more about that here in a second. And let's just review some of the stats of Bud Dupree. 2023, again, he had 6.5 sacks. 2022, 4. Again, his production was kind of all over the map, but 2019 with the Steelers did very well. 2018, so he's done well. Right now, is he going to have a 10 or 12 sack season next year? Guys, who knows, right? We shall see. But he's joining a room with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa and Thule, and it adds a lot of flexibility for Jesse Minter when he starts talking about, how we want to rotate players in and out. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as well. But again, when you look at his numbers, right, again, with Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Thule is amazing. And Thule can learn from Bud Dupree. I mean, I truly believe that Thule is going to be with the Chargers a long time. And again, Thule finished in his rookie campaign with 4.5 sacks, tied for 7th amongst rookies. In fact, I would have said this if Khalil Mack hadn't stayed healthy all last season. I think he would have had a lot more. But I think really Thule played the very unselfish role of trying to find opportunities for gaps to get, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa opportunities for sacks, and then they got him, right? So it's really interesting. So again, Dupree and they're really going to be the outside linebackers or edge rushers, for this team. But there's going to be a rotation by committee. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as well, too. Again, Bud Dupree is one of those guys. He was a 2015 first-round pick in his first 6 seasons with the Steelers. And, again, he was potentially going back to the Steelers, right? It was a big conversation with the Steelers. But I really think he wanted to try something different. He also knew that he didn't want to have a lot of snaps. And the nice thing about coming into this room, there's 4 edge rushers already set. But probably does mean that someone like Chris Rumph is most likely going to potentially be on the outside looking in unless he could find a spot on special teams. I actually think Chris Fromm might make special teams. We shall see. But someone like a Brevin Allen or an Andrew Farmer, they're going to have to really show something to really find a spot on this squad, right? And again, we'll see how that plays out specifically. But again, there's a really nice mix of really three veteran edge rushers. And then you have Thule, who's the up and coming rookie, which I think is great. And again, he signed a 2-year contract worth up to $10 million. So he'll be here this year and then also next year, which is good because we all know we're going to lose Khalil Mack next season, most likely to retirement, but we shall see. Dupree broke his 10 sack barrier in 2019 when he played every game, and his career high 68 tackles and 16 tackles for loss and 17 quarterback hits in 2019. That was one of his best seasons, right? He played in 119 career games, 99 starts, and totaling 305 tackles, 53 sacks, and 70 tackles for loss. So again, he's been very productive, right? Is he the best edge rusher in the league? Absolutely not. But the whole point of this signing, and let's just be very clear, it's a veteran signing. You can bring him in, coach up some of the youngins. Let's see what happens with, Andrew Farmer or Brevin Allen. Who knows, right? They may make a spot on the squad. They, start up in special teams and they have an opportunity to progress moving forward. But again, Bud Dupree is a good veteran that you could bring in to take some snaps. So how does he fit in the mix? I think there's a lot to be said about this. And I'm just going to talk about this briefly and then I'm going to wrap up the video. Joey Bosa. Look, Joey Bosa, we all know we're paying a lot of money. I think currently I think he's actually the most expensive player on the team right now. Yeah, he actually is, right? So he's got $8 million in guaranteed salary. His cap number this year is $26 million, right? So dead cap money. I mean, look, yes, we saved about $11 million with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, but again, he's still extremely expensive. His base salary is $8 million. Joey Bosa is the highest paid player on the team right now, and he can't stay healthy. And so you bring in someone like a Bud Dupree, he can take some snaps. He doesn't have to be out there every time. I fully suspect there's going to be a rotation for these edge rushers. They're going to come in, come out, keep their legs fresh. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa, we all know he pulled his groin last year. He was eating Raisin Bran on the sidelines. We all saw that, right? So now it gives him an opportunity to take a breather, take a breath, and then Bud Dupree could come in, see what he does, and then they can kind of, edge rusher by committee, which I think is a really good thing. And again, we all know our boy Khalil Mack came back, second highest paid player on this team right now, guys. A guaranteed salary of $1.2 million, right? Again, which I think is kind of funny. He's only $1.2 million. His cap number is about $25 million. So a lot of incentive-based contracts for Khalil Mack. I think Khalil Mack is really here to win a championship. And again, he's had some injury issues as well, too. So adding depth, and this is the point, guys. You could get all these guys, like you spend all this money with Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, they're not on the field, and guess what? You're in a bad spot. But you have Bud Dupree, at least he can come in, might not be as good as Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa, but they can take reps. And that's the point. You want it to be a situation where they don't have to be out there 100% of the time. You want fresh legs in the fourth quarter. You want fresh legs when it's third and long and you're trying to get a stop so you can get the ball back and score, right? So these are the things that matter. Think about this, guys. I mean, what if you put a nose in the very front, and then you have your four edge rushers, Thule, Mack, Bosa, Dupree. Dude, that's just going to be ridiculous. You rush five. Come on now. I mean, the interoperability that you have with this team is going to be incredible. And again, Derwin James is actually our third highest paid player. His guaranteed salary is $3.4 million. Cap numbers around $19 million. So there's a lot, right? There's a lot there in incentives with a lot of these guys, right? The signing bonuses. Joey Bosa got a lot of money in signing, right? So there's a lot to be said about that all the way around. But again, I think Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Thule, and now Bud Dupree, I think they're going to be rotating snaps. I don't think it's going to be spread around. That's a good thing, guys, right? A lot of people sit back and say, oh, it's a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's a great thing because then you don't have to worry too much about, people getting hurt, people getting too fatigued. They can rest and have their best when it matters most. And again, it's just going to help this young man right here too, Thule. We also Thule's benefit, right? Thule's going to be learning from three excellent veteran edge rushers. It's going to directly impact this young man right here. He's going to I am excited to see what he does. I truly think he could have a breakout year. I think he'll even double his sack totals. I think he'll hit maybe 8 or 9 this year for sure, as long as he stays healthy, folks. And again, that's the whole point of this. And look, I'm just going to say this: the edge rushing room is going to be stout. We're going to have a very good edge rushing room, and really, folks. Bud Dupree, again, is he going to move the needle? Is he going to be a big, huge splash signing? Again, very inexpensive, gives us an opportunity to, you know, have a veteran presence. If we do sign, if we do keep Andrew Farmer or Brevin Allen on the team, or who knows what we do with Chris Rump. Again, those guys can learn from these 3 veteran edge rushers as well. And that's really the whole point, right? You want people that can step up and get the best out of what they have moving forward. I'll make a prediction right now. I actually think that Andrew Farmer or Brevin Allen will make it probably over Chris Rump, because Chris Rump is very skinny and he doesn't have the weight like a Brevin Allen or an Andrew Farmer. I think one of those 2 guys will probably make it over Chris Rump. But again, just my thoughts. As always, Andrew Bopros. See you guys in the next one.